Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Julie from Living Large on Lifetime, and this is another episode of WWWWJD. What would Weight Watcher Julie do? Thanks for joining me, everyone, and just a reminder, although I do work for Weight Watchers, I am a Weight Watchers receptionist, and I have been on the Weight Watchers program for about 2.5 years. This channel is my own personal channel and is not endorsed by or affiliated with Weight Watchers. Everything here is my own opinion. Take it or leave it, glean what you can, and leave the rest. So let's jump into the questions, guys. The first question is from Plumeria8357. This is a very timely question. Love your tips for getting through challenging situations. What are your tips for stressful parties? To tell you the truth, I'd much rather be home than go to most parties, but it's not good to say no to all of them. I am quite shy, but the stress at the party pushes me toward eating the wrong things to calm down. If not at the party, then later. Help. Okay, this is very timely, and I do have some very awesome suggestions for you because I love parties. I always try to walk into every party with a strategy. Whether or not you stick to the strategy 100% is beside the point, because if you don't have a strategy, then you're going to go off the rails. So number one, you want to set up your entire day to be successful. So plan around the party by having as many 0 points foods for your meals as possible. Now with the new freestyle program that is even easier than before, you can have some great protein that will fill you up and keep you satisfied and healthy all day long. Have maybe some eggs, some poached eggs with some cheese and fruit for breakfast. For lunch, you could have a turkey or chicken wrap, or even a piece of grilled chicken with some vegetables. Just fill in your day with as many 0 points foods as possible, so that way you give yourself a cushion for whatever you might choose to have at the party. The second tip is an awesome tip I got from Kat at Cat on Point, and she suggests having an apple before an event like this. I absolutely agree, not just because an apple is 0 smart points, but apples are actually one of the most filling fruits. It's because of all the fiber. So have a nice big juicy apple right before you go to the party. Sometimes I will have my fruit literally in the car on the way. Okay, my next tip you may or may not agree with. If you are a drinker and you enjoy your alcoholic beverages, you may use this as one of your methods for calming down in a stressful situation. I actually love my party beverages. However, you're going to want to be careful. If you use the beverage to help yourself relax a little and enjoy the party and be able to talk to people more freely, I would suggest having one. Start with one alcoholic beverage and follow that with a glass of water. At that point, you can then choose if you need another beverage or not, or you may just want to stick with water or diet soda. I think it's totally fine to have that one alcoholic beverage to help you relax and enjoy the party. I know I have a hard time if I'm stuck in a room trying to talk to someone who I've never met. I have no idea who they are and what they enjoy, and I'm expected to make conversation. That gives me anxiety as well. So I do enjoy a nice alcoholic beverage. It helps me relax and I'm able to talk to people easier. Again, just be careful. Start with one. If you go overboard, not only are you going to feel miserable, you will have ruined your goals for the evening, and you might even overdo it on the food. So start with one. I always go to one of 3 low points beverages. My favorite, of course, is red wine. Red wine at a 5-ounce pour of red wine is only 4 smart points. So watch and make sure you're not pouring the glasses too large. 5 ounces is 4 smart points. I also love a skinny mojito, and I think I really love these because there's so much work that I won't make them at home. So a skinny mojito is basically just club soda, lime, mint, and of course 1.5 ounces of rum. So a skinny mojito is only 3 smart points. They do add up. If you have more than one, then you have to start counting points for the lime juice. So stick with 1 or 2. Skinny mojitos, 3 smart points. And then my last beverage choice for low smart points is a Bloody Mary. That is a tomato-based drink with vodka and a standard, I believe it's 5 to 8 ounces, not positive. A standard Bloody Mary is 5 smart points. So those are my go-to choices for alcoholic beverages during the party season and really anytime. The easiest, of course, is red wine. And if you are so inclined, you could take a bottle of red wine to share with your host. Okay, next we're going to deal with the food. It absolutely helps to know what's being served ahead of time. If you can't find out, and I would not feel shy at all about asking the hostess what she plans to serve, and if you can bring anything to help, find out if you can ahead of time what's being offered so that then you can decide what you're going to have. You can pre-plan and pre-track the points. If you don't know what's going to be served, you're going to need to take some time to actually walk around and look at the buffet tables or look at what's being offered and decide what are you going to splurge on. One of my favorite sayings is you can have it all, just not all at once. So I would choose 1 or 2 items to splurge on, estimate the points, and then fill the rest of your plate with as many 0-point options as you can. So I usually fall for the cheese. I love cheese and crackers with my wine. So 1 ounce of cheese, which is about the size of my thumb, it's not much, 1 ounce of cheese is 4 smart points. Crackers vary quite a bit, but those are usually my splurges. So again, just pick 1 or 2 items that you feel comfortable splurging on, have just a little bit, then fill your plate with as many 0 points options as possible, and then walk away. Walk away from the food, go mingle with your friends, enjoy your 1 plate of food, and don't go back. If you do go back, make sure it's for those 0-point options. So that's how I would handle the food situation. And lastly, if you think that you're going to overdo it when you go home, number 1, if things are getting a little stressful at the party, you've had your food and you're dying to have more food, or you feel like you might want another drink, or you're so nervous you don't know what to say, or really it's super boring, you know what? It's okay to leave. You don't need to stay for the entire party, and honestly, a lot of times just putting in an appearance is enough to make everyone happy. You've done your duty, you can go home after an hour and a half, 2 at the most. So don't be afraid to leave when you've had enough. And then lastly, as far as eating when you go home from the party, I would highly recommend that maybe if you feel like this is a danger for you, have something ready for you when you get home. Whether it be a big bowl of cut fruit loaded up with fat-free yogurt, have that ready in the fridge for you to just dig your spoon into and go for it. Or maybe you want to have something more filling. Do you need some chicken sauteed with vegetables because whatever you chose at the party was not filling enough? If you really think you're going to have a problem with eating after the party, then make sure to have some options available. If you're going to need some sweets, try some Halo Top or some sugar-free Jello or sugar-free pudding. But think about this when you plan the entire day of the party and you're having all those non-0-point foods for your breakfast and your lunch. Think about what you might need to have after as well. So that was a really long answer, but I hope that helps you guys because 'tis the season and I love parties. So let me know if you guys are going to a Christmas party soon. What did you choose? How did it go? What drinks did you have? And what was the 1 or 2 food options that you splurged on? Okay, second question is from Weight Watcher Wendy. Wendy says, what are some non-food ways you reward a great week or month on track? This was an interesting question because, okay, this is kind of funny, but number 1, I'm super glad that I don't reward myself with food. I just don't think about it. Food is not a reward to me. Food can be an event. For me, I might plan to go to a restaurant and enjoy food. I might plan to go to a food event and try everything, but I don't really ever plan food as a reward for staying on track. So that's good. It never really enters my mind. But number 2, I don't really ever reward myself, period. And that sounds actually worse than it is because what I've decided is that I must be an instant gratification person because when I want something, I go get it. I don't really set some sort of boundary or goal and say, okay, if this happens, then I'll get whatever. I just go out and get it. So I should probably think about that a little more and reserve 1 or 2 things for an actual reward for myself. So thank you for bringing that to my attention, Wendy. I might think about doing that. But I do have some suggestions for you because I am an instant gratification person and I love splurging and pampering myself. Here are some suggestions for you. So maybe if you've been on track for a week, here are some kind of short-term, smaller rewards you could give to yourself. Some nail polish, a new nail polish. I love OPI, and OPI has some of the most beautiful colors right now. Maybe you're gonna go get a mani-pedi at the local nail salon. If you're like me, you don't do that very often, so that is actually a real treat. A nice massage. Massages are inexpensive here, but still enough that it's kind of a splurge. So that would be a nice reward. We actually have a massage chair. If you have anything like that in your home, maybe save it for when you've had a good week. At the end of your week, when you've calculated all the points and you're within range, maybe give yourself 30 minutes in the chair. You can tell I'm thinking about this for me. Maybe a new book if you really like to read, or if you're like me, maybe some new clothes. If you've hit your goal or you've been on track and on point for a couple weeks, head to Walmart. They have some really decent looking clothes right now, like this that I'm wearing right now. So maybe if you've been good and you've been on track for a whole month, maybe you've got a month's worth of blue dots. Here are some bigger ideas for you. I love going places. I love going places and doing things. If you have some sort of local attraction that you can go to in your area, plan a weekend trip or a day trip. I like to go to Disneyland or California Adventure, obviously. We're hoping to maybe go to Knott's Berry Farm in the future. You could go to your local zoo and hang out for the day, or maybe a museum if you like museums. You could also go, these are kind of California things, but maybe you could go whale watching or go to the beach. Or what if there's a cabin in an area that you love to hike? Maybe you could rent a cabin for the night. Those are some bigger ideas. Maybe you want to get a month or two under your belt, or maybe you want to hit a milestone goal before you do those, but those are some ideas that I came up with. So thanks for the question, Wendy. I'm going to think about some ways that I can reward myself, but that means actually holding off first. Okay, the last question, I don't know that I have any specific die-hard answer for. I'm definitely not a doctor, so whatever I say, you're gonna wanna check with your doctor first, but I wanna put this out here in case any of you guys have some good suggestions or advice. So the last question comes from Michelle Davenport. Michelle says, I did Weight Watchers 7 years ago and lost 35 pounds. I kept it off for 5 years, and then I had a battle with anxiety and depression that cost me my job and almost my life. The antidepressant has caused me to gain 30 pounds, and now here I am again. I feel healthy and I'm going to try freestyle. I guess I'm afraid I won't lose weight because of the medication, and I hate how I look now. Anyone else here lose weight while on antidepressants, or know of anyone? I'm so discouraged. So first of all, I believe it was Sherry. I think Sherry commented on this question as well and said that she actually has lost weight while being on antidepressants. So thank you for that comment. If anyone else has any suggestions, please comment down below for Michelle. I can tell you that I have been on antidepressants off and on throughout my life, and I don't know that I was ever in a weight loss phase during any of those time frames, although literally for most of my adult life I've been trying to lose weight. So I can't really specify one way or another whether I was able to lose weight on the antidepressants, but I can tell you, but they did not ever make me gain. So there is, you know, I don't know, everybody's different, Michelle. First of all, you need to follow your doctor's advice and take the antidepressants if that's what your doctor has prescribed for you. Secondly, because everybody is different, you don't know how your body's going to react to trying to lose weight, trying to eat healthier, trying to be better for your body, trying to fit more movement. You don't know how your body's going to react until you try. It can only be good, right? So going out on a limb and trying to do good things for your body can only result in good. Even if you don't lose weight because of the antidepressants or for whatever reason, you're still doing your body good. You're still making your body healthy. So it's absolutely worth a try. I do know, I have heard of some doctors who have prescribed their patients steroids and then recommended to combat the weight gain that could potentially happen, then recommended that they go to Weight Watchers. So Weight Watchers is science, and it's been proven to work in so many ways. However, your body chemistry may be different or may be affected because of the antidepressants. So again, all I can say is it's worth a dang good try, and you deserve it, and you owe it to yourself to believe in yourself and give it a shot. So I say totally go for it. You don't know until you try. And by the time I answer this question, I think that you said you were going to sign up the other day, so I hope you've been into the program for at least a few days now, and you're feeling better, and maybe at least feeling more positive about yourself and about the program. And in a week or two, who knows, you could be down on the scale, and that would just be the start of something huge and a grand new journey for you. So I'm very excited to hear how things go. But please, if any of you guys that are watching have any tips or suggestions or a story about your weight loss on antidepressants, please comment below for Michelle so we can share the love, you guys. Share the Weight Watchers love. Anyway, it's getting dark out here. If you didn't notice, it gets dark so super early. I have nothing else to add. So thanks so much for watching, you guys. Again, this is WWWWJD. What would Julie do? If you have any questions for me, please leave them down below. When the questions die out, so will the series. So I will keep answering as long as you guys have questions. I do have several more, so if you have asked me a question, don't get discouraged. It's in the loop, and I will get to them shortly. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. Have a great evening.